A nightmare for Colorado and the perfect storm for Deion Sanders. This is an emergency Locked On Big 12.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into Locked On Big 12. I'm Drake Toll from America's #1 Big 12 podcast, Locked On Big 12. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day. Deion Sanders, the Colorado head coach, headlines the list of candidates for the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to the Las Vegas betting odds. If you hit subscribe, I get to keep my job. This might be it. This might be the perfect storm, where Las Vegas didn't work out. It's now being reported that the Las Vegas Raiders have no interest. It's not mutual. This is a whole different scenario. A Barstool affiliate tweets, Deion Sanders, congratulations on becoming the 10th head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. College Sports Only says Jerry's going to trade Dak to Tennessee, draft Shador, and hire Deion, isn't he? Sports Center today, Marcus Spears laid it out for everybody, saying Prime may be the one guy that can at least go to the office and say, Jerry, let's try it my way. And then ML Football saying that per Bovada, Deion Sanders is the betting favorite. An amazing relationship with Jerry Jones for over 30 years. He's expected to heavily pursue Sanders and could offer a contract in the $15 million plus range. First reaction. I wasn't very worried about Las Vegas. I wasn't very worried about Tennessee or New England. And if you told me a week ago, hey, what does your content look like? What can we vet what all Drake has said about Deion Sanders going to the NFL? I've been pretty clear. I don't think it's going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen. And then this. It wasn't even that they fired Mike McCarthy. I'm a Cowboys fan, all right? I lived in Texas the last 5 years. It's not even that fired Mike McCarthy. They just were like, all right, well, guess you're not our coach anymore. Your contract's expired. And going in another direction where I thought it could be Sean Payton, I thought it could be Bill Belichick. It doesn't seem like those are the two options that'll be on the docket for the Cowboys. But instead, Deion Sanders is headlining Fox Sports, Covers.com, Fort Worth Star-Telegram, On3, Bleacher Report, ESPN. It is stunning the amount of national analysts that are already picking up on Deion Sanders, former Dallas Cowboy, guy who has that kind of relationship with Jerry Jones, being the next coach of the Cowboys. Here's what that would entail, though. The first thing it would entail is you and I deciding, are we Deion Sanders fans or are we Colorado fans? The second that he's a Cowboys coach, because then he takes all the viewership with him. Right? Think about this. The Alamo Bowl got 8 million viewers. It was a record for the Alamo Bowl, a record in the last 5 years for a bowl game outside of the college football playoff. And the reason it did is because, yeah, BYU's good, but Deion Sanders has blown everybody else out of the water, like tripled everyone else in the Big 12 in viewership this year. Not Colorado, because before Deion got there, Colorado's viewership was very poor. I say it all the time. Colorado had 2 winning seasons in 16 years. Before he got there, no one cared. It wasn't a big deal. The second he does, because he's Deion Sanders, all eyes of the country want to watch Colorado football. That will go away. If he leaves Colorado, it won't be near as extreme because the biggest show there, Deion Sanders and his Heisman Trophy winning Travis Hunter and his #1 overall pick caliber son are gone. Now, could there be another head coach who comes in who's a former NFL player? For sure. They could bring a whole new gamut of media, but this is the big show. And if the Dallas Cowboys have that, like selfishly as a Cowboys fan, that rocks. Every TV station in America, every camera, all the time will be pointed at Dallas, America, wanting to know what Deion Sanders, the head coach of the Cowboys, will do. So that's the first thing we have to understand is if you're a Deion fan or if you're a Colorado fan and where the Buffs would go without him. He already walked in the locker room and told his players in Colorado that he was excited to not have to be a dad. He could just be a football coach. He had enjoyed the prospect already, meeting with a team, of not having his sons there, which didn't sound, it was very genuine. It didn't sound like he was trying to slight either of his kids. He was just being very honest to a locker room full of Colorado players. He was excited for a new opportunity that didn't include coaching his son. But he's also been on national shows and said very clearly that the one way to get him to the NFL is the opportunity to coach his kids. What Dallas would have to do is likely trade up into a position where they can land Shedeur Sanders. I do not see Deion, based on what he has said, accepting that he could just sit back, be the head coach of the Cowboys, and coach against his son, who'll be a starting quarterback somewhere in the NFL next season. That's not going to happen. I don't believe that there's a scenario there. I believe he would rather stay at Colorado over joining the staff of the Cowboys if it meant he had to coach against his son. I don't think it's going to be as hard to pick Shiloh up out of the draft. But if you're Jerry Jones, you have to know, I bring in Deion Sanders for $10, $15, $17 million a year. I'm going to have to trade up to get his son, and that's not going to be easy because anybody in the top 3 picks knows the reason I'm trading up there is because I have to. I'm stuck. They can demand whatever they want for the number 1, number 2, number 3 overall pick so that Shedeur Sanders finds his way to Dallas with Deion. That becomes an instant problem. If you're a Cowboys fan, it's instantly an issue for you because you're going, oh, shoot. Now we're going to lose some real stuff just to get this guy here because we need his son. And if you're a Big 12 fan, if you're a Colorado fan, if you're BYU, Texas Tech, UCF, Baylor, Cincinnati, this sucks. This really, really sucks if Deion Sanders goes to the Dallas Cowboys. I don't mind the rumors. I don't mind if he interviews. I think that's all good and well and cool. Good for you, Deion. But God bless. If that's what happens, it takes away the biggest show in town in the Big 12 right now. Bovada is also saying other candidates, Joe Brady plus 200, Ben Johnson plus 325, Bobby Slowick plus 1,000, Matt Nagy plus 1,800. That'd be a wild hire. Tony Romo plus 2,800 as options to be the next head coach in Dallas, right there with Deion, who is at even odds, plus 100. Extreme. It's extreme when a betting service puts something like this together, because that's when, like in an election season, when the betting lines are swayed one way, like these are real people's money. Vegas has real money on the line here. You can't inflate those a ton. It has to be super strict because the money game is so massive. So for Deion to be one, that has to have legs. They don't just throw these things together. Betting lines are very strategic. They're not just like, oh, well, toss Deion in there at number 1. No, this means that there will be a real conversation between Deion Sanders, Jerry Jones, the Dallas Cowboys about making this thing happen. Kind of crazy, man. I didn't think we'd lose Deion to Las Vegas. I said that, and I really am worried that the Big 12 will lose Deion Sanders to the Dallas Cowboys. That is a decent possibility here when you take into account his history with the organization, his history with Jerry Jones as well. Deion leaving Colorado is on the table. Not something that I want, but it's on the table. Coming up tomorrow, we'll talk more about this. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is the number 1 place to go. I mean, they'll have lines up too where you can bet Deion Sanders to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Big upsets to game-winning drives. NFL playoffs are always better with FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $250. $250 in bonus bets. $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. FanDuel app gives you everything you need, from live bets to same game parlays, so much more. Visit the website, share betting lines around right now with your friends on Deion Sanders. Visit FanDuel.com to join today. Get started with $200 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com. Make this playoff season unforgettable with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right, there it is. Hopefully Deion stays. This has been and always will be Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. An emergency. Dose Grande.